On this week's episode, we're talking the NFL honors, the NBA trade deadline, Brad Marchand, and of course, the Olympics. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 6, season 2 of Points and Penalties. For all our listeners, we'd like to remind you to please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. For all our viewers on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the PMP button in the bottom right of this video. And no matter how you check out PMP, give us a like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Points Penalties. Once again, my name is Josh, and with me are my co-hosts Kevin, Jesse, and Peter. Kevin, start with you like usual. What are you drinking this morning?
Well, I'm going to have myself a Neon Haze. It is from Amsterdam Brewing. It is a hazy IPA sitting at a whopping 5.7%. Let's give this sucker a go. Yummy. Very nice. It's a good hazy kind of taste. Like it so far. Jesse, what are you drinking?
Thanks, Kev. I am drinking Blackfriars Bridge. It is a London brewery called Toboggan Brewing. It's a vanilla stout, and I got you with 6%. So I'm going to try her again.
Is that back-to-back weeks for you, Jess, with a stout? I think
so. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I like them, man. I'm starting to like them a lot more. This podcast has definitely made me have more of them and
broaden your horizons.
Like I've always kind of liked them, but now I'm really getting a taste for them. But I try this right now. Solid, good stuff. Pete, what are you drinking?
Thanks, Jesse. I am drinking a Kitty Vitty Aloha Sour IPA. It's a strong beer, 6%. Got a puffin on the can.
Puffin what?
A puffin on the
can. Puffin on the can. Remember back in the day, Kev?
Yeah, come on, Kev. So I'm also having the first sip just now. So we'll see how she goes. Oh, it's definitely sour. Not bad though. Not bad first taste. Nice sour beer.
Josh likes the sour ones. He had one last week and he was like, I like it.
Sours are good, especially on a summertime patio.
Nope.
Which is not right now.
No. But
freezing here.
Imagining it's a summertime patio.
I mean, if you throw a few more logs on the fire, it might feel a little warmer to take your shirt off and oh shit.
Yeah. So Josh, what are you rounding us out with?
Well, I've got a Bellwoods Brewery Monogamy citrus hops IPA. It's got some fucking owls on the cover there.
Ooh.
And yeah, and it's
who's on the cover?
I'll tell you, I'll bet this beer is a fucking hoot. I'll tell you that. So let's just go over our alcohol percentages again. Just because I'm dumb and I can't remember what you guys said. Ken, you had like a 5.7.
I got a 5.7 here, yes, sir.
Jesse, what did you have again?
6.
6, and Pete?
I'm at 6 as well.
Oh, you guys are fucking bitches, and I went with a light one today. I got a 6.4.
Ooh, an easy win.
I know, that's been a while since someone has beaten someone with a 6.4.
With something less than 9.
Yeah. So basically, you guys all get -1s. And oh wait, no, we're not doing that. All right, so I'm gonna give this Monogamy a try. Like I said, it's citrus hoppy. That's the kind of stuff I had last week. Enjoyed the hoppiness or the citrusy. Give it a whirl. Yep, it's citrusy. It's good. It's IPA. IPA-E. Is that a word? It is now.
It is now.
It is now. Pretty good. I like it. It's probably going to go down pretty good at 10 o'clock in the morning. All right, guys, let's get right into it. big day on Thursday, the NBA trade deadline. They had a couple surprising trades. One that wasn't so surprising, but you could definitely call this one a blockbuster. We'll start off with that between the 76ers and the Nets. James Harden and Paul Millsap get traded for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, a 2022 first, and a 2027 first, which is protected. I think we all kind of knew that, or we're hoping that this might get done. James Harden wanted to get out of Brooklyn for whatever reason. The super team there, the big three, they only played 16 games together. They were 13-3 over that time, which is pretty fucking good. And imagine if they could have gotten their shit together, stayed healthy. If Kyrie was not a goof with the vaccination status, imagine what could have been there. So after bringing in the Hardens about a year ago, the Nets went from having the championship aspirations to a second round exit last season to not having Kyrie for the first 2 months of the season because of the COVID vaccine mandate to a 9-game losing streak to trading Harden. So from going from we're going to win to see you the fuck later was not a very long time frame. And I was, I think at the beginning we were all kind of thinking, is this going to work? How is it going to work with 3 monsters that want the ball all the time? Evidently, in the games that they played together, it somehow worked being 13-3, but over the long run, I'm not really sure what Harden's issue was here, like why he wanted to get out so badly.
Wants the ball more.
Maybe that's it, but he's going to get the ball for sure more in Philly, but he's definitely going to have to share that rock with the big man, Joel. So I figure to maximize this Embiid Harden partnership, they are going to have to develop a 2-man chemistry that utilizes both Harden's mastery of pick and roll angles and Embiid's ability to threaten defense in all kinds of different ways. Obviously, Embiid can do just about everything that you need him to do. We all know what Harden brings to the team, offense, shooting, not a whole lot of defense. So obviously the Sixers aren't going to miss the defense of Simmons because he wasn't playing this year. So it's pretty, it's almost from a Sixer standpoint, it's almost getting a superstar for nothing. Obviously they didn't just give up nothing, but when you have a guy that's not playing and now you're going to fill his role with somebody who's pretty fucking good, that's always a good thing. So on the Brooklyn side of things, Ben Simmons, it's going to take him a bit to get into the swing of things and get into game shape. He's been working out and whatnot, and I think he's been practicing, but he hasn't played. So he could end up playing different positions depending on where the Nets are playing. If they're playing home or away, at home, he could be the primary ball handler because he does have elite ball handling skills. But when the Nets are away, you're going to get Kyrie and KD that are going to be more prevalent with handling the ball and initiating this offense. So it's going to be interesting if Simmons can do that. Can he switch back and forth between kind of positions and roles between home and away games? Obviously, this is a tough situation because of Kyrie and his vac status. It would be great if you could just have your players play the same positions and the same roles every game, but
that's how you get the chemistry, right?
Right, exactly. So it's going to be very tough to get this chemistry. And sure, Simmons and Kyrie will play at the same time, but it's, you're going to play 6 minutes together, 8 minutes together, 10 minutes together every third game, or, every other game, however it works out with the schedule. It's just going to be tough. Like I said, Jeff, for the camaraderie and whatnot, it's just really going to be tough. So obviously Ben Simmons is a big upgrade defensively for the Nets over Mr. Harden. And I don't know if you guys know a guy named Curry. It's a Seth version, not the Stephen version, but he's not quite as good as Steph. But his brother Seth is half decent. He's a shooter, can hit the 3 ball. He's pretty good defensively. The question here is, will the Nets trust Curry to initiate some of the offense here when you got guys like Kyrie and Simmons on the bench, or if you're at home and Kyrie's not playing? So I think they will in the long run. It's just going to take some time. And, when all else fails, give the ball to the fucking KD, right? And that's really all you need to do there, because he'll just fucking He'll just destroy everybody like he normally does as long as he stays healthy. So, and which
Why do they call him KD again?
Because he eats a lot of craft dinner, Kev.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to be Canadian, really. That's hard.
Yeah. Oh fuck! What did he say when Letterman? He's like, "My name is Kevin
Good.
with a
And my
K."
last name's Durant.
Last name's Durant with a D. So I think this is, based on Harden not wanting to play in Brooklyn anymore. I feel like the Nets had to do something. Sure, they could have forced him to play, and maybe they could make the big three work. Somebody's evidently is going to be pissed no matter what, though, between the three of them, because they're not getting the ball the most or as much as they want. So when it comes down to it, as long as Simmons can get into, I'll say, regular season form, because we know last postseason he was fucking garbage, wouldn't take shots. It seemed like he was scared to take shots for the Sixers. So if he can get his confidence back and play solid, I think this is going to be a good trade for both teams. Now you have players that want to be in that other location. They're going to want to play. They're going to play hard, and I don't know. I think this is going to be good. Now the Nets, their ranking, I guess, if you want to say, to win or their favoritism to win the finals dropped a bit after losing Harden. In that case, the Sixers would have bumped up a touch. But I don't know. What do you guys think about this blockbuster trade? Do you think it was a good trade for both teams? Do you think it's a bad trade either way, or how do you guys feel?
I definitely think it's a good trade for both teams. Like, I was looking at this and trying to decide who I thought won this trade, and it's tough. Like, I think objectively Philly got better right now, and Brooklyn probably got a little worse right now. But Brooklyn also picked up a couple first round picks in this trade, so that'll help them out in the future. And I don't know if they're actually going to be that much worse because they had that three-headed monster. Now it's down to a two-headed monster plus Simmons. That's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Well, 1.5 headed monster.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if we know the rules yet for the playoffs, if he'll be able to play home games or not. Probably not as of now.
Not as of yet.
The mandates, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, but yes. But that would have been the case either way with Harden or Simmons. Mm-hmm. So yeah, to me, I don't know who won this trade. Like I said, I think Philly got better right away. I think they brought themselves into probably serious contention here, and the Nets didn't drop out of serious contention, but they picked up some futures. So I think it's a good trade for both teams, and it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out when it matters in the playoffs.
Like Simmons is like 7 years younger than Harden, so like that's huge. If Simmons could play, up to 3/4 of Harden's capabilities, then I think that maybe the Nets won this based on like you said, the future, right? Like,
yeah, I don't think he can though. Like,
I mean, he's not the beard, let's put it that way, but he does have, like, he was an all-star before all this bullshit and whatnot going on with the Sixers, and he has potential for sure. There is that high end potential, but would he ever be as good as James Harden? Probably not. But again, those, like you said, Pete, those picks. So for me, I think the Nets ended up winning this in the long run, but a short term, like you said, Pete, for sure, Sixers got this in the bag short term.
I also think the Nets won this. I think it's a good trade for both guys. Like Peter was saying, right now, Philly looks really good, but future, not so much. We also know that Philly's probably going to finish in the top of the league, so it's the back end number one, so not the greatest there really. And yeah, we'll see how Simmons does in the playoffs, because that's, like you said, there's tons of potential. He hasn't been that good in the playoffs, so he's got to prove that he can play there. And I still think Brooklyn will make the playoffs, but right now they're in the play-in, so they got a lot of work to do. But I think with what they were able to grab they're going to be a better defensive team. Obviously, they're not going to put up the numbers or like the high numbers as when Harden was with them, but we'll see. I think they'll still do pretty well. I still think it kind of just shakes everything up, and hopefully the Nets do a lot better because they are dropping real quick down the standings.
Yeah, but I guarantee you they make the playoffs.
Oh yes,
Guarantee.
yeah, that's what I said. But I want to see Ben Simmons in the playoffs. See if he can actually do something.
Yeah, for sure. We know that he can play in the regular season, but what we've seen in the postseason from Ben has not been good. You know, tentative, not wanting to take shots, and you can't do that, man. You got an open bucket. You got to fucking go for it. Even if you miss it, you got to try.
Yeah,
Get yourself in a rhythm.
And maybe that's because he felt too much pressure in Philly to be the guy, where now he's the third of the, if you even want to call it a three-headed monster. Maybe he'll fit right in more of a supporting role and have like KD and Kyrie take care of the primary point getting. We'll have to wait and see.
I think the Sixers definitely, is going to be better with the beard, not Hardaway, right, Jesse? It's the beard.
Yep, not Hardaway.
Yeah, so I think the Sixers is definitely, they're looking to win, and bringing the beard in is only going to give them that good opportunity to do so. Now, with what the Nets, ended up getting with Simmons, like you guys are saying, let's just see this guy not just toss up or give rid of the ball where he shouldn't, where he should, like you said, Josh, drive the lane, take that shot. So, but all in all, I think the Sixers they want to win, and bringing the beard in gives them a good opportunity to do so.
Yeah, 100%. So I think we're pretty much all on the same page here. The Sixers probably got better now, and the potential for the Nets to be better now is still high, but also for the future is definitely better. Like you said, Jess, it's going to be a low end number or a first round pick, but a first round pick is a first round pick, right? All right, next trade. Washington Wizards, Dallas Mavericks. I had kind of hoped that this guy might have been traded to Toronto. I like Kristaps Porzingis, although he hasn't played great this season. He's been getting better. So the trade is going to Washington as Porzingis and a future second round pick, and then going back to Dallas as Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. This is kind of a surprising trade in the sense that so Dallas had Porzingis, and they have an elite point guard in Luka Doncic, and the chemistry just wasn't working between them, and they just, it wasn't great. The combination was lacking pizzazz. It was lacking that spark, and now Washington's bringing him in to being paired with Beal, assuming that Beal re-signs for next year. He's currently out on he's had a season-ending surgery on his wrist. So this is kind of for a next year type thing. So they've got to be assuming that they're going to be able to re-sign Beal. But Beal and Porzingis is not as intense or as good as Porzingis and Doncic, and that didn't really work out that well. So it's interesting to see that the Washington is going to try and make this work with Beal and Porzingis when Doncic is, in my opinion, is way better than Beal. Don't get me wrong, Beal is good, but it's Luka fucking Doncic.
Yeah, agreed.
Now the big concern here with Porzingis is, of course, his health. Is because of his injuries and the health and safety protocols with COVID and such. He's only played 34 of Dallas's 55 games this season, and in part because of shortened seasons, he hasn't played more than 57 games in a season since suffering his ACL tear in 2018. So a bit of injury concern that the Wizards are going to have to deal with, and hopefully they can maybe give him a little bit of take a book out of Kawhi's, or take a page out of Kawhi's book with the load management, although his load has been zero this year, talking about Kawhi. But and like I said, I like Porzingis. I thought he would be a pretty good fit in Toronto, but I also didn't want to give up a whole lot for him. So it's one of those things. But So on the Dallas side of things, now going over to the Mavs, Spencer Dinwiddie, he is a useful like volume scorer on teams that don't have that scoring punch, kind of like Washington without Bradley Beal. The problem is that he can't keep the same scoring efficiency when that other superstar is in the lineup. So in Dinwiddie's case, he went from 24% shooting percentage to without Beal to 15% with him. And that's not good. You got to be just as good or better when you have that superstar or other top end guy on the court at the same time.
Yeah, you'd think you'd be better. You'd
Right.
think you'd get less attention from the D, and it should be better. I don't understand.
So again, this is kind of it's more concerning here because now you're pairing Dinwiddie with Doncic, who is an even higher ball usage type of guy. Like he has the ball every possession. So are these numbers or this percentage for Dinwiddie going to go down? Because that's what it seems to. It went down with Beal, so why wouldn't it go down with Doncic? Doncic is better than Beal, so it's just kind of I don't know. This is a weird trade. And then Davis Bertans, he had a really good season. He signed like an $80 million contract, and then he's been slumping. So he's we figure he's a better shooter than he has been this season. He's still a 40% 3-point shooter in his career, but Bertans needs to shoot at that level to stay on the court. If he does, he won't stay on the court because the rest of his game is lacking. Like he's a 3-point shooter, and that's a boot in.
Booth?
A boot, yeah. We're Canadian
This
here.
podcast is in Canada.
Hey.
Take off your hosers. So, because of the rest of his game is deficient, other than his 3-point shooting, the Mavs might be able to hide it, in zone defenses and so on and so forth. But his poor defensive rebounding and just defense in general is especially for a big man, is a big issue. And I just don't know what Dallas was looking for here in picking up these two guys as opposed to keeping Porzingis around. I don't know who's going to be better. It's hard to say. It really is. So
maybe it's fresh starts.
It very well could be. It very well could be. So,
and sometimes fresh starts are good starts for some.
100%. I mean, I'll bet you, like going back to Harden, his fresh start. I'll bet you he fucking tears it up. He's going to be so excited to be playing again and playing somewhere he wants to be, right? And maybe
getting the ball.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about this odd trade? And do you think this makes any sense for either team, this trade, or are you guys kind of just as confused as I am on this one?
I think it makes a bit of sense for Washington, and I think they clearly won this trade because I think they got the best player in Porzingis, and I think they got a future in that second round pick.
Mhm.
So I definitely think they came out on top of this. And my gut says it's a play to try and get Beal to resign. Like, look, we got you some help, we got some futures, we're trying to build around you. Come back, stay in Washington, whatever. So I think it makes a bit of sense for Washington. I don't really know what Dallas was trying to do with this, but like you said, Jesse, maybe it's just they're hoping for some fresh starts for these guys, shake up their game and sort of kick them into high gear here. Maybe work better with Doncic. I don't know, but I think Washington definitely won this one.
It is definitely strange. I agree, with this trade especially for Dallas. It is weird. I guess Dinwiddie, I think maybe he'll make a difference. Maybe he didn't like playing with Beal. Maybe that was the thing. I don't know. I would assume because Wizards were doing pretty good at the beginning of the season, but as everyone knows, it's a long season. You got to continue this through the whole season, but I think he'll be better with Doncic. Doncic makes it better. So I think that he should be able to do it, and Bertans is injury prone, right? So they're hoping that their staff can help him out, and get him back on track to play as many games as possible. And Peter, I didn't even think about this, about re-signing Beal. So like, yeah, they got a big star and trying to re-sign him. So that makes sense for Washington, but I can't really think of Dallas, what they won here at all.
Kev, you got any thoughts?
I'm just like with you, Yosh. I mean, it's just confusing. I mean, like, I don't know why you would. I don't know. It's just strange. That's all I got to say about that one.
There was multiple trades that I mean, we could go on all the whole show about the trades in the NBA this year. CJ McCollum was moved, Cam Reddish was moved. That was all prior to the deadline. There was a 4-team trade, 7 players. There's all kinds of stuff that we could talk about. But these first 2 here, obviously the blockbuster we got to talk about, and this one because it was confusing to me of why either team made this. Like I said, maybe Washington, you can see a little bit more why they wanted to bring in Porzingis to help the future out and definitely to try and get Beal to re-sign. But then the last one I want to go over obviously has to do with our Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
Trade is between the Raps and the Spurs. So the trade was Thaddeus Young, Drew Eubanks, and a 2022 second round pick, which is the Pistons pick, and going to San Antonio, Goran Dragic, a future first round pick that is protected in 2022, 2023, and then converts to a second round pick.
2 seconds.
Or sorry, 2 second round picks. Yep. Which basically
should have
challenge. Yeah. So if basically the way that works out is if the Raps finish in the top 14 this year, top 13 next year, then they don't get those picks. San Antonio don't get the picks. They have to finish outside those.
Which they probably will.
Like in terms of draft order, you're talking.
Draft order, yes. Sorry,
Yeah.
draft order. And then so if they don't over the next 2 years, then in 2024 and probably 2025, I would think San Antonio would get the Raps 2 second round picks. Essentially, even if these pick swaps here, even if it ends up being next year that San Antonio gets the pick, they're basically only swapping 10 spots ish, 10 to 15 spots from where we project the Raps to finish compared to where San Antonio is going to finish, and the swaps, it really is only 10 picks. It's, top or bottom end, first round, top end, second round isn't a whole lot of difference from a player capability standpoint.
Well, so I'm not going to challenge again, but you said San Antonio. You mean the Pistons? It's the Pistons pick, which is at the top of the second round.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're saying the Pistons pick, which is going to be very high.
Yep.
A very high second round pick, versus the Raptors pick, which is going to be, I don't know, low 20s ish, probably.
Yeah, like, so basically right now, if the season was to finish right now, they would give up like the 20th, 22nd pick, something like that, and they would get the 30 or 31st pick, or 32nd, something like that. So it's very close.
Yeah.
So really, the pick swap is no big deal.
Yeah, I agree. Like realistically, the player you're going to get at, call it 22 versus 32, it's a gamble either way, and I don't think there's much difference between those picks.
At that point, it's almost all those needs, right? Like,
Yeah.
Unless you fall in love with a player at that top end of the first and beginning of the second, like it's just, well, you're gonna get drafted someone to back up, right?
Yeah,
Back up a position that might be leaving soon, or that is really weak.
right. But the pick value is going to be very similar in terms
Exactly.
of yeah.
So which basically means that the trade was Young and Eubanks for useless Goran Dragic. So
We never wanted to be here anyway.
Exactly. So, with Goran, like, he played 5 games for the Rap. He averaged 8 points, and the Raps essentially got something for nothing here. He didn't want to play for the Raptors and wouldn't even fucking dress. Like, he came up with, I have to assume that this was just an excuse and there was no actual mental health issues or anything, because he said he just wasn't ready to play. He wasn't there. to play. You know, wasn't I'm assuming mentally he just wasn't ready. And to get something for nothing is great. You know, and even the Spurs don't want this guy. Will reportedly be buying him out, and he'll become a free agent. Now there's talk that he'll go to Dallas because he and Doncic are both Slovenian, and they have, you know, that camaraderie and so on and so forth. I don't give a fuck. Get him out of the Raptors system. I am so happy that they got rid of this guy. Something for nothing is better than nothing for nothing. So
plus that salary is gone too.
Right. And yeah, we did save some cash as well. So so Thaddeus Young, he's a vet. His defensive versatility should fit in very well with the Raps aggressive defensive scheme. Young was one of the best players last season in Chicago, over 68 games, which he had 23 starts. With the Bulls, he averaged 12 points, 6 rebounds, about a steal per game to go along with a career best 4 assists. Now, he's not going to be a starter for the Raps. Let's be clear about that. We pretty much have our top 5. He's going to come off the bench, but that's exactly what he did in Chicago. I mean, he did that in San Antonio as well, but they didn't use him very much because they were looking to rebuild and they wanted to see what they had in all the young guys.
Tanking games.
Yeah. And so, you know, I don't mind this pickup as a little bit more of a, you know, defensive versatility, defensive type guy, and a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, just
meh.
Well, he's gonna be kind of meh, but I think he's gonna help
some depth, buddy.
Some depth. Yeah, exactly. So now the only thing here is that he's potentially a 30-game rental player or so, as he's a restricted free agent at the end of the year. That being said, I did read an article that said that he was not surprised, but almost thankful that somebody was out there looking for him and was trying to get him, as opposed to just being part of a trade. You know, he was the trade. You know, he's the reason that they made this trade. So he seemed to be pretty happy with that. And the Raps have already waived Drew Eubanks because he doesn't fit the scheme. So I like this move. It's nothing crazy. What do you guys think about it?
Yeah.
Meh. That's what I think about it.
I think it's a low risk move. You get, like you said, 30 games with Thad Young. You paid a little bit of draft capital for him that's probably ends up being worth pretty much nothing. And it's a tryout for him to see if he fits. Yeah, see if he fits in well in the Nick Nurse system. We know that a Nick Nurse championship team is built around defense. So if he fits in, great. Yeah, they retain his bird rights out of this deal. So they might be able to sign him for a couple of years. But if he fits the scheme, and I think it makes sense with very low risk. And we get rid of Dragic, who nobody fucking liked.
Yeah,
I like it.
So when I first saw this, I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck? A first and a second for this old motherfucker? But then I saw, like, yeah, we're getting the Pistons. So we're definitely getting it close. Like, the draft capital we're giving up is not much. And then I didn't really know a lot about that. So read up on him, great for defense, and I was pretty happy with it as soon as I saw Dragic or Goran. Like, I'm fine with that. And I think this trade is pretty good, but nothing to shoot us up the standings, more or less. And the way our starting 5 and even Boucher is playing, awesome. Like, I like him. So he's probably not even gonna be the 6th man off the bench, but he'll be there. He'll be there for the defensive presence and everything. So it'll be pretty good. I'm fine with it now after I read everything, because I just saw a second and a first, and I was like, what? I think that was a swing and a miss. But now that I understand everything, it seems like it was a good play for the Raptors.
I threw myself into a meh on that one. So
You're not wrong, Kev. You're not wrong. This is not a huge needle changer, this one.
Yeah, I mean, especially since all year we've been saying we need a big man, and the Raps kind of doubled down on a small lineup here. Like, I mean, he's 6'8", but so he's not like he's small. And we have like, I think he's like our fourth or fifth player that's 6'8", but he's not a traditional big man, which, you know, we all have thought that we needed. But hey, they've been flourishing going with a smaller lineup without that traditional big, and it's working out. So keep on keeping on, Nick.
And I've been saying this. I've been singing this song for a while, but this is not the Raptors' year anyway. They're not winning the championship this year.
I mean, they just got Thaddeus Young, bud. What are you talking about?
As we all just said,
get on board.
It's depth.
Yeah. So I assume they're going to intend to address the center position in the offseason and maybe start trying to contend in a serious way starting next year. So I don't mind not. I'm glad they didn't spend a lot of futures to try and get a big man now, because this is not the year.
I mean, it could be.
It's not.
I mean, they're playing pretty well. They're knocking off a bunch of high-end opponents.
Yeah, but it's not.
Well, they lost last night, and it was because of the big man.
Yeah, but was it not a putback, or was it no? It was a block. Sorry,
It was a
It was
block.
a big
It was a
block.
block.
Right there.
It was a
He
huge
missed
block.
two free throws, which he was perfect at that point, and then OG got fucking stuffed.
Yeah, Fred missed a shot and OG got stuff
On the rebounds.
yeah, but I mean, there's no. I mean, who's to say that a big man would have made the dunk there, or you know what I mean, like, or the shot, whatever. Like, that's
He
more.
would have been taller.
Would he have been
Like,
it's
taller
simple
than,
math, Josh. It's
Like-
simple math.
When I was watching it, the best guy on him, like OG did okay on him, but like Scotty Barnes was like the guy that did pretty good on him for the most part. But he was just moving guys. Like he would just like walk backwards and then just do a little stupid hook shot, and we couldn't stop him. So I think we do need a big man, but I do like the little lineup right now. It's just when we go up against bigger guys, or like a superstar big guy, which you got Joel Embiid, right? So we got to work through the East there against him, and now they got Harden, so that'd be a tough team to beat.
Sure. All right, guys, we've rambled on long enough about the trade deadline here. We got to keep moving. Kev, I'm going to run over to you here. You got to, you want to tell us something about some women's Olympic hockey?
Yes, sir. So getting into our women's Olympics hockey, their game against the ROC was delayed by at least an hour in regards to testing of the ROC in regards to positive tests. Natalie Spooner goes on to say, our coaches and medical staff are not going to put us in a situation where we don't feel safe. So that's one of the reasons why they're just waiting upon the tests to come back from the ROC if they were positive nor negative. The Olympic right now, the Chinese capital of Beijing is taking place in a COVID secured closed loop. The bubble, everyone must wear a mask except usually when they're doing their competitions. The ROC, Shibanova, who plays on the ROC, should hope she would never have to play with a mask on again. It's because she said it was hard for her to breathe.
Oh, shit.
Now the Russian players took their masks off during the third period. Spooner also goes on to say, we figured that we had our masks, so why not wear them for the last period? Now Canada does go on to win that game 6-1. Team Canada has been seriously challenged in Beijing, winning in all three games with a combined of 29 goals, and they've only let in 3. Now, my question to you guys is:
You're saying they haven't been challenged,
right? No,
yeah.
there's no challenge to these ladies. The only challenge they have is USA. I mean, that's what the finals always will be: Canada, USA, in the Olympics. So again, guys, my question to you is: even if with no positive results, the ROC, should they have taken off their masks, or do you think they should have kept on playing with them?
Well, my understanding is that they did have a positive result at maybe not at the end of that game, but even a couple days later, there was a positive result on the ROC ladies hockey team. So, and because there was like 3 or 4 players prior to the Olympics that had tested positive, I 100% think there was an agreement made. Canada said, we'll play if you guys wear masks. And Russia said, ROC said, okay, we'll wear masks if you guys wear masks. So they said, okay, let's all wear masks. And then they take them off in the third period, which makes no sense to me. Like, wear the masks. And then the other issue here is why were the results not released right away? To me, there's some shady shit going on, and it's Russia or ROC, whatever you want to fucking say.
Of course, there's shady stuff going on with Russia.
So exactly. So that's where for me,
The ROC, not Russia.
yeah, they're not Russia. So I agree with the Canadians on wearing the mask. They should continue to wear the mask just in case, because it is, the ROC, and they're we've seen lots of issues between doping and these COVID issues here. So I definitely think that they should have kept their masks on. I don't believe that Russia or ROC should have been able to take theirs off. I think they should have had to keep them on as well. For safety's sake, they made a deal. And to me, I mean, maybe there was somebody that came over in the second intermission and said, yo, we don't, it's fine. We're clear. We don't have any positives, so we're going to take our masks off.
Yeah, and that was exactly it. I think that's the only reasons why they did it.
But if I was Team Canada, I would have said, too fucking bad. We made a deal. You're wearing your mask throughout the whole thing. Like, you have to be careful. What happens? What if after the game, Natalie Spooner and, Marie-Philippe Poulin, tested positive? That's a huge part of your Canadian team. Obviously, they're probably going to be okay based on the level of competition that they have to face. They probably still get some dubs, but those are, like, Natalie Spooner is the best female hockey player in the world, in my opinion, right now. Like, look at the fucking scoring stats. She's dominating everybody, in just this Olympics here. So if she were to get knocked out, like I said, there's definitely lots of Canadians that will pick up the slack, especially against a weaker competition across the board. But you can't have your best players being knocked out because of COVID, because of potentially ROC being dumb and say, oh, hey, we don't have any COVID positives. Wink, wink. Like, I don't know. It just, for me, I would have preferred if ROC would have kept their masks on. And even in a couple future game, the Finland team, they decided that they were going to wear masks against ROC.
Why wouldn't you?
Right. So it's just too sketchy. And I really wish Canada said, fuck you, ROC, you're wearing it in the third period, or we're not finishing this game. Of course, then do you run the risk of taking a forfeit? And you don't want to do that.
Probably, yeah.
But I mean, it was an agreement between the two teams at the beginning of the game to both wear masks. So I don't know. That's my opinion on it. I think they should have had to wear them all the way through.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a result of them getting the results after the second, and that's why they felt they were okay to take off the masks if they came back negative. And I don't know the score going into the third period. Do we know what the score was going into the third?
No, not that I know of. It was the third. I just know the final.
But the game ended 6-1, so I assume Canada was up decent at the end of the second. So my guess is that it was along the lines of Russia said, okay, we got our ROC said, we got our results. It's all good. We're negative. We're going to take off our masks. And Canada said, okay, fine. And they went to the team and said, they're negative. We're going to take off our masks. And they said, I don't know. We're already up 5-1 or whatever it is. Let's just keep them on. We're playing fine.
I mean, it was a total flex, I think, for Canada. Like, if they got that negative, they're just like, yeah, we're fine with the mask. Like, they were saying that they couldn't breathe. Canada was doing fine with the mask. It's curious to see if they scored in the third.
Yeah.
It was 4-1 heading into the third.
Were they empty netters in the third?
Probably not.
Anyways, but like, it's still like, it's
No, they were on the power play, both of them in the third. So not likely empty netters or
so
you know.
So yeah, the ROC they needed any advantage at this point.
Yeah, they needed to breathe, bro. So they take their masks off.
Yeah.
The roids weren't reaching through.
Well, all I know is that when the fucking convoy truckers come and say that they can't breathe going into a shop for their groceries because they're wearing a mask. I mean, to point to the fantastic ladies who played a full-length Olympic level hockey game with masks on.
I mean, it's already been proven, like at the
You can
beginning,
breathe through a mask.
That's right.
like some guy ran a marathon with a double mask, and like he was fit for sure, but it doesn't affect you that as much as everyone's saying.
So as of right now, guys, I believe we are at 14 medals in total in regards to Canada. 1 gold, 4 silver, 9 bronze. Now, my other question for you guys is, where do you think our your guess is in regards to our Canadian medals? I'm saying I'm going to leave it at 26. Hopefully, we can do a little bit more, but that's where I'm sticking with in regards to our medal.
I think you're a bit on the high end, Kev. I think you're a bit optimistic. And I hope we're not doing Price is Right rules, because if we are, then I'm going to.
That's the reason why I picked mine.
But so I went a little over at 23.
Always
And
Price is Right.
when you see Jesse's pick, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I picked 24 just because of the Price is Right rules. And it's typical how most of the time it goes, so that's what I did there.
Well, fuck you.
Exactly. That's the usual response when you're the last one to pick.
Yep.
I'm going with 21. It's just a random guess.
Winner, chicken dinner.
I just don't feel that the Canadians have been doing as well as they probably should be, or as well as we think they have done in past Olympics and whatnot. So
Basically, you don't believe in your country, is what you're saying.
I just believe they're going to get 21 medals and not 26 or 23 or 24. So basically, as long as they get 21 or 22, I'm the fucking winner. Price is right, baby.
Price is right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's this has been a crazy Olympics because it's been marred by all kinds of controversy, and a lot of it stems from the Chinese athletes getting the benefit of the doubt. There's some sort of things here and there, and then it seems like the Chinese athlete moves up a bump, so maybe they get to that third spot or what have you after some DQs and whatever. I'm pretty sure it was a Chinese athlete in speed skating who like threw or pushed a track marker up into the Canadian skater. So there was 5 skaters, 3 of them were Canadian, 1 Chinese, and 1 random country. I'm not sure. And to me, it looked like the Chinese skater pushed this marker up. Like if you hit it, if you put your hand down when you're going around a corner or speed skating, you might hit that marker, but it's not going to jet forward. You're just going to keep pushing it, right? Because it's going to get caught in your hand and it's just going to be pushed. But it fired forward, which means she pushed it forward. It got into the skates of the skater in front of her. That skater ended up being okay. And then it was the Chinese and the 3rd Canadian, which was, I guess they would have been in 3rd, 4th position, and they got tangled up and both went down. Turns out that they ended up allowing the Canadian skater to finish 3rd in that heat. But again, it's these controversies that seem to be all revolving, or a lot of them, around China, and then of course with doping scandals, Russia. So it just seems to me, and I know that there's controversy every Olympics, but it seems to me already throughout the first week there's been more controversy than there has been in the past. And again, it's all about China and Russia. So it's what's going on here? Did the Chinese government say, hey, China IOC, we want to win this Olympics, so do whatever you got to do to get us medals.
Yeah. We're on home turf. We got to win as many as we can.
Exactly.
I can cheat, steal, lie, whatever you can do to win more medals.
100%.
Make it happen.
I mean, the Olympics have been a little bit corrupt for a while. And
hence the ROC, bro.
Right, exactly. So it's lost. Olympics to me has lost its shine.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean as much to me anymore, because
this year's definitely been ho-hum for me. Definitely.
Even last year, I was just like, there's so much. It's so corrupt, and I just don't like. I like to watch because it's sports. But
Yeah, it wasn't last year. Just kidding. Last Olympics.
it was last year.
Oh, you mean the summers?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Carry on.
Okay.
Should have challenged him there, Jess, on the rebuttal. Shit.
But I think we should actually be carrying on here, guys, and we're going to get into our MVP in a moment. So our MVP here is Sam Ryder. He aced on the 16th hole of the Phoenix WM tournament.
Waste management.
It's the 16th. Well, he's actually the 10th person to do so. Now, the crowd, honestly, man, I was watching this live. The crowd went nuts. Like, this is the only tournament, guys, where there is no basically silence, like shut the fuck up. They're about to tee off. This 16th is all about the hoorah rah. I mean, these people are rowdy. These people are drunk. These people are excited. And when he made that hole in one, OMG, right, Pedro?
That's right.
LOL. They went crazy. I mean, to the point where there was water bottles and beer being shooken into the crowd and then now dumped onto the field of play. It was like something, I was like, what the fuck is going on? But I mean, I understand the excitement, but why are you throwing everything onto the fucking fairways and green and everything else? But in all, guys, unbelievable on how regards to the crowd reacted. How did you guys think that this crowd, I mean, was it over or was it something that should have been celebrated because it's this 16th hole on this tour?
I love it. They call it the biggest party in golf, the 16th hole at Scottsdale. And I wish I was part of that crowd because that looked like it would have been a ton of fun. And yeah. And I don't mind. Like most of golf is fairly tame. It's fairly, quiet please, taking a shot. Okay, happy days. When you come to 16 that you're gonna have a loud crowd. So to ace that hole and to have the crowd go nuts, it was probably the best golf moment of his career.
Yeah, no, this is on his first. It was his very first on this career. I mean, the first time to ever do it. I mean, there's
the best moment.
Yeah, by far, this is like the first time doing this. I mean, Tiger Woods done it. I believe the last person that did it was in 2017. Can't remember his name, but wow.
Yeah, great scene.
It was awesome watching all that beer being sprayed across the fans. That was wicked. Everyone was just like, "Get rid of your beer so we get a new fresh one."
Kev, just because I'm a fucking dick, I'm gonna challenge you. You said 2017.
Yes, 2000. No, sorry. Was it 2015? Yes, I did say 2017, but I believe it's 2015.
Oh,
no,
he's changing his story now.
Okay,
hang on. Let me just take a quick peek.
Let Yosh guess the actual date.
Right, like I was too late now. I guess I can't fucking challenge.
Let me just take a look.
You were fucking wrong, you asshole.
Yeah, it was 2000.
Challenge your ass.
No, it was 2015. This was the last time it was done. But yeah, I mean, 2015, it's still quite the accomplishment, man. I mean, hitting any hole in one is quite the accomplishment.
For sure it is.
Wish I could do it.
Yeah, no doubt. So this is the only hole, to my knowledge, that has grandstand around the entire thing. And that's why it was so fucking intense. To me, when I started, so Kevin, you sent us a link to check this out. And, okay, great. He hit the hole in one, and that's obviously huge, but it was the crowd's reaction. And to me, it looked like it was a fucking soccer stadium that they just scored in, the last goal of penalties or something. They just went fucking nuts. That's what it reminded me of. And I was watching like, this is fucking insane. I like rewind, like watch it again. And you're like, and it's not like it was like one guy with the beer and then everybody fucking went with the beer. It was everybody at once. And it was
instantaneous.
Like, holy fuck. They just shit hit the fan and it was just beer everywhere, beer cans on the fucking course. Just insane. I think golf, the PGA needs more of this. They need more exciting. Sure, it's exciting when you make that 50-foot putt for par or for eagle or whatever it may be. That's obviously awesome. You get the fist pumps from the golfers. You know, Tiger is always one of those guys that gives you the big fist pumps when he does something major on the course, especially putting. But just for the reaction here, and golf needs more excitement like this. If the golf had more excitement like this, you would gain viewers, no question about it. And you can use the Happy Gilmore movie as an example, and maybe it's a little excessive with Happy Gilmore, but you know, Happy's like, what are you guys so quiet for? Like, bring it up. Let's go. Let's hear some noise, right? And maybe they don't need that portion because it is hard to golf when you have a lot of noise going on in the background. But once the shot is taken, I want everybody to erupt. It was a great shot. Sure, it might be a standard drive when you're at the tee block. Oh yeah, he hit it 350 yards, just like the last guy did, whatever. But get excited about things, you know, and like, let's get people out there with fucking beer helmets on, you know, with fucking cans of beer, and like, let's make golf a little bit more exciting for the fans. And you know, like, I would go to a golf match. Like, I would go to the week, maybe not do the whole weekend, but I'd go to a game or a day and check things out. But I would definitely make sure I went if it more were like the TPC at Scottsdale here, where they fucking go insane.
I think they should have one hole that is like this at every course.
I mean, you obviously get the 9th and the 18th. They're all are obviously at the clubhouse, so there's obviously lots of fans there, but it's not like Scottsdale.
Yeah. No, it was phenomenal. I think that was friggin' fantastic. It gave me goosebumps. I was laughing. I was like you, Yosh. I rewinded and watched. It was like, I actually called my wife over and said, you got to check this out. And, you know, it was something that I think everybody should be part of. Like I would love to have been there. I'd been two-fisting my beers or whatever. I wouldn't have give a shit.
Especially if fucking riders got to buy you refills, right?
Yeah. No, it was something. So for you, Mr. Ryder, Sam, kudos for being our MVP.
Cheers. Shake your beers. Ah!
That would have been something. I think all our wives would have been pissed off if we had did that.
Mine wouldn't. I'd be the one to have to clean it up, so she wouldn't give a fuck.
Yep.
She's like,
Jesse,
idiot, what are you doing spilling your beer like that?
Jesse, I see you got some topics here in regards to our NFL.
Yeah, so the NFL honors were on Thursday night compared to Saturday night, which they usually do. So we're going to go over a couple of them. MVP, Rogers got it.
Boo!
I agree with that, boo. He got 39 votes. Tom Brady got 10.
Also,
my boy Cup got 1.
Also, boo.
No, Cup's MVP, bro. This year, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No.
So Rogers now has 4. He's 1 away from tying Manning with 5. And he looks like he might be coming back to Green Bay next year. So
Wow.
We'll see.
I don't think so.
I mean, I hope he doesn't. I'd be fine with him going to the AFC.
Tennessee. Anyway, let's move on.
So again, my boy Cooper Kupp got Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He got 35 of the votes. Taylor got 10. Tom Brady got 3, and Rodgers got 2. And then the obvious candidate for the Defensive Player of the Year was what?
Should have been back-to-back. TPO was for what?
Right.
Not a chance. Micah Parsons got 5, and the AD did get a couple.
Garbage AD got 3. Yep, I see what you got going on.
You're gonna love him today, buddy. He's gonna
Fucking
No,
Stompy
hey,
2.0.
Fantasy's over, bud. I don't need to love him anymore.
It
So
doesn't matter.
No.
It's gonna happen. He's been
nope,
dominating the
that
playoffs.
shady Bengals offensive line is gonna stuff him today. I hope.
I want you to take the under on 80 not getting a sack.
I can also tell you guys this. I am not going to make any fucking points in regards to being on the show. Because I've
Bullshit.
lost too many.
Bullshit. You
I've
will
lost
get so
too
drunk
many.
by halftime. You'll be making bets for points. No question about it.
I need them, but I mean, as you say, Pedro, just stop doing them.
Just stop there. Just stop.
Stop digging your hole deeper.
I mean, Kev, you almost got it 2 weeks ago.
You
Yeah,
did.
Yeah.
The
You
defensive
didn't.
back, if he would have had that one, like, just that extra little stoppage, he probably would have had that interception and would have given me my fucking
And the
points.
Rams wouldn't be in the fucking Super Bowl either.
There's
Eh,
9 minutes left.
No, they wouldn't be in it, man. That would have been a game changer.
We don't
Well,
know.
if ifs and buts for
Rams are
candy
there.
and nuts, but
Yeah.
they're not.
So we got rookie of the year offensive was Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Not really a surprise there with 42. And Mac Jones got 5. Creed Humphrey got 2. And Rashad Slater got 1. Defensive player of the year was Micah Parsons, who
Rookie.
got unanimous. Or yeah, rookie of the year. Yeah. All right, defensive player was TJ. So unanimous 50 votes there. Good for him. Obvious candidate.
Yeah, for sure.
Comeback player of the year. This was the closest one, boys. Joe Burrow versus Dak. Joe Burrow got 28. Dak got 21. And Derwin James got 1. We'll figure out if everyone agrees with that. Coach of the year was Peter's boy, Mike Vrabel,
Yeah.
36. Matt LaFleur had 8. Rich Bisaccia got 3. Zach Taylor got 2. And Bill got 1.
Probably from Bill himself.
Right?
That one, that's goofy. So the moment of the year was Jason Tucker's 66-yard field goal to defeat the Lions in overtime. Or not, yeah, it was overtime.
Was it?
Before? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Almost got me. And that one was tricky because you could call the play clock was down the play before to 0. Refs didn't call it. So it might not have ever happened. And then the Walton Payton Man of the Year was Andrew Whitworth with the Rams.
So he gets that little now decal on his jersey.
Yep. The guy
That looks like Darth Vader.
yeah.
That's right, bro.
Yeah. 100%.
So do you guys think there are any snubs here? Or do you think that some of the voting was kind of goofy? Anything like that?
I've got one sort of snub. I don't know how Nick Bosa didn't get any comeback player of the year votes after the year he put up after coming off. I think he came off ACL surgery, I think. Something like that.
It was something bad. It was a season ending last year. So I don't remember, but yeah, I didn't even think about him. But yeah, he had a monster year and him not getting one. You knew it was going to be between the two quarterbacks, I thought.
Yeah, not that he should have won, but not to get any votes. I don't know. That's a bit of a snub in my mind. But that's it.
So how did Dak get that many votes? Like, was it not the previous year that he came back? Did he not win last year, comeback player of the year?
No.
He
Last
didn't
year
win
was when he
last
had the
year?
compound fracture.
Yeah, I
last
love
year
that.
Was? Okay.
Yeah, man, I love that. I rewinded that like a mofo
So
when he
last-
did
so
that to his
last season,
ankle.
so- okay, because I was wondering like because I thought it was the previous season, so that
It
makes
feels
more
like that.
sense.
So this is what
Yeah,
Penalties does.
it makes more sense than that he got that many votes. But for Joe to push his team into the Super Bowl here, that makes even more sense for him to get those extra votes there. So
He had an ACL tear.
the coach of the year, I have zero problem with that. As I
Yeah.
mentioned to Pete while we were in our MVP break, it makes sense because he has he only had 2 players on his team that were any good, AJ Brown and Derrick Henry. The rest of the team is
Ooh, that
fucking,
defensive line was pretty good.
You cut me
I'm
deep,
just-
Josh.
I'm
You
just
cut me
chirping
real
Pete
deep,
here, bro.
Josh.
so it makes sense that and I like Vrabel. He's a good coach for sure. The Bill Belichick thing, I don't understand. Like,
Yeah, that's the one I'm like, really? Like,
yeah.
Like you said, though, he probably voted for himself. That's why.
Yeah, like I would give 1 vote to Flores for going with that 7-game fucking win streak after losing 7 straight. That's where I would go with that 1 extra vote. But I we're not privileged, although we're in the media now. We're not privileged enough to get a vote. So
we don't have insiders.
Yeah.
We might
Not
even
yet.
get badges one day. One day.
Ooh,
Maybe one day.
ooh.
The rest of them, Micah Parsons makes sense. Jamar makes sense. TJ Watt should be back to back, but that makes sense. Cooper Kupp, that might be the only other one as offensive player of the year. Obviously, the Triple Crown is massive, and he deserves to be the offensive player of the year. Another guy would be Jonathan Taylor, though, and he only got 10 votes, and that's a little low to me. But being that the rest of them went to Cooper, it kind of makes sense.
So like he pretty much had like just as good as a season as Jerry Rice did in '95, even with if you do like the 16 game schedule.
Mhm.
Now he's been dominating the playoffs. He's crushing the postseason and season receiving yards. There's definitely an argument that Jonathan Taylor kind of got ripped off, but like this is typically a running back quarterback award. Only 3 wide receivers have ever gotten the offensive player of the year. And with what the numbers that he put up, I don't see why you don't give it to him, especially with the Triple Crown. And like I said, pause. If you include the 17 game schedule, it's probably the best regular season wide receiving season. So I think that's why he got it.
Just you said third ever. So is he the third or is he the fourth guy to win
He's
it?
the third.
He's the third. So who are the other 2?
So Rice
got
it twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then Michael Thomas got it a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And that was when he set the record for the receiving yards.
I didn't realize that it was that skewed to QBRB for that. That's pretty crazy. So
so and like I said, it's just because the dominant season that he had.
Oh, he had a great season, for sure. So, he's not going to have a great game today, but he had a great season.
Who's going to stop him?
I'm
fine. I just want to hear who you think is going to stop him.
I don't know the Bengals, man. Fuck, I don't know. I already told you that the other week. I'm not a Bengals fan. I'm just wearing the hat.
He's going to stop himself, Jesse. It's all in his head. He's going to drop the ball. He's going to fumble the ball.
He had a big drop last week. But...
Fumble-laya, fumble-rooski.
All right, so MVP. I don't know. Like, I don't like Rodgers.
Did any of us pick Rodgers? We did who's your MVP pick?
No, I took Murray.
I had Brady.
I don't even remember who I might have taken
Herbert.
Did I take Herbert?
And then I had Stafford, and I think especially with.
So we were wrong.
Of course, you had Stafford.
Brady definitely, I think, got robbed here. I think he should have gotten. Like, I get
fuck Brady. Fuck that guy.
The best touchdown ratios ever, but the guy was knocked out in the first round. I know postseason doesn't count, but
it
Brady
doesn't.
also,
but it does.
Not in this case. But Brady had the most touchdowns and the most passing yards in the league. He just threw too many picks. That was pretty much the only reason he didn't get it.
Fair enough.
Didn't Aaron only have 4?
Yeah. So his touchdown ratio was ridiculous, and that's what gets him that MVP.
The Walter Payton Man of the Year too. That's a tough one for us to rebuttal because we don't know what these guys have actually done within their communities or whatever.
It's
but from what I understand, this is the most prized honor that you can get. Even, I mean, obviously MVP is huge, but these guys, there are many players that strive to get this.
Yeah, man. I would want that on my fucking jersey. That's for sure.
For sure. I remember
I would rather be an MVP. Just me.
Yeah, that's because you're all about you and not about your community.
Yeah, that's right.
Could be.
I remember when Peanut Tillman won this a bunch of years ago, and obviously it was a great thing as a Bears fan to see your boy finally, or a player finally win something. But like I said, it's a huge honor to be named the Walter Payton Man of the Year. And so, congrats to Andrew Whitworth. And what's funny about Whitworth and Joe Burrow is they're like besties. So these guys, Burrow was rehabbing his ACL in LA. Obviously, Whitworth is in LA. He was rehabbing something as well. And they decided to work they talked to each other, decided to work together, so on and so forth. Apparently Burrow was at Whitworth's house for his birthday. for Whitworth's birthday. He was at Whitworth's house for his own birthday. So these guys are like, BFFs on different teams type thing. And the age difference is ridiculous. It's like Kevin and fucking Jesse here, like a ridiculous fucking age difference. But
I think I got you all by at least a good 9-10 years.
You got us all, yeah, for sure. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Not 9-10. Holy fuck, how old are you? 50?
Close.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I don't know what Whitworth did here. I didn't look into what he did for the community and whatnot, but you got to assume that it was awesome. And for me, I think this is the most prestigious award you can win on the NFL honors.
I agree with you, Yosh, for sure.
I'd still rather be MVP.
Shut up, Pete. Nobody
Shut up.
asked
Yeah.
you.
What the fuck?
All right, Pete, since everyone's hating on you, why don't you tell someone where else hating on?
Let's talk about a more appropriate direction for some hate. We're talking Brad Marchand.
What a dickhead.
Boo!
So he has been suspended for 6 games for punching Chris and Jerry in the head, and then after being restrained by a official, getting his stick right up in the face of Jerry afterwards. So this comes after a point in the same game, in the pregame, where Jerry tried to take a puck and flip it to what do I assume is a Penguins fan in the stands, even though it's in Boston. And as he was in the act of trying to,
how can you tell? They're all yellow, blue, or yellow, black, and white. How can you tell? How can you tell?
Who knows? Maybe it was a Boston fan. But anyway, he was trying to make somebody's night, giving them a puck, and Brad said, "No, that's not happening in my house." He smacked the puck right off his stick, caught it out of the air, and threw it away.
Fucking dickhead.
Fucking douche. So he is suspended 6 games for his latest idiocy. It's been 2 months since his last suspension, which was for slew pudding on Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Which is probably not his first time ever doing so.
No, it is not. So he is quoted as saying, "Of course it was stupid. I'm not denying that. I absolutely should not have done it. But suspension worthy? I don't think so. These were plays. We're not going to injure Jerry. No potential injury on that play. He was very well protected. The fact that it's 6 games is based on history, not the play."
Okay, there's a problem right there, is that he even knows that it's based on history. So maybe get your shit together, you fucking goof.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, Josh. I know you have. I don't know about the other boys. Do you think 6 is the right amount of games? Because when I was strolling through the back alleys of the internet reading about this, it seems like everyone is either pro Marchand here, like he shouldn't have got any suspension at all, maybe a game. And everyone else is like, 6 games is not nearly enough. This guy's a fucking goof. You gotta punish him for once. It should have been like 15. So where do you guys land?
No, I think that he got more than what he should have. I mean, I think what happened within this situation is when he stopped that, Jerry to throw the puck into the stand. When he stopped him, Jerry chirped him the whole entire game. Anytime he was in the earshot to Marchand, he said something to him.
Yeah.
I'd be doing the same thing.
Fucking right. I would be doing the same thing too, dude. I mean, for sure. If it was a Penguin fan, I mean, I don't give a shit if it's a kid. You're definitely tossing this puck to a kid. You're not tossing it to us. I don't give a fuck if I'm holding on to a sign and saying this is my first game in 38 years. I'm not going to get that puck. It's going to go to a kid.
Check that in March.
But I mean, for him to stop that dickhead, and Jerry had every right to sit there and chirp him the whole entire game. And I guess he could have said something to Marchand, hit his button, where he gave him a little, like he had both hands on the stick and then just went like this to him. It wasn't like an uppercut. It wasn't like a full head like punch. I mean, Jerry did kind of sell it a bit like a fucking soccer player, but
I disagree.
Right. I know he did, but he did give him a pop. But Jerry did have a little bit of a response to the fucking hit. I think
he just got punched in the side of the head with it.
Whatever. Then for me to draw a penalty, I would do the same thing. I mean, but the stick underneath the chin, I think that's what did it.
That was
in regards to for the 6. But I say he would have got. I would have given him 4. I would not have given him the whole 6. I mean, 4s were what I said when I saw 6. I was like, wow. But again, you're a dummy that keeps on doing stupid shit. And if you're going to keep on being a repetitive defender or a repetitive doing so, then yeah, man, 6 is what you got.
Okay, so Jason Spezza got 6 games initially for his little knee there on whoever the fuck it was. And we know that Jason Spezza is not Pionk.
Yeah, Pionk.
We know that Spezza's not this type of guy, right? That goes out to try and intentionally hurt somebody. He initially got 6 and got it whittled down to 4 games. So using that as a benchmark, so Kev, you think that this is less?
Yeah, no, I would give him 4 games.
Yeah,
I would give him 4 games.
Like, I agree that maybe the Spezza's knee was maybe more, meant to hurt him more. But based on the history, and even as Marchand says, it's based on my history. If he would have, he's got his stick blade up in the goalie's face there. What happens if that fucking stick just happens to get? And I know damn well that stick can go right in the eye socket of those masks. A puck can barely fit through, like it can't, but only by this much. But a stick probably could, and I'm pretty sure I've seen one get caught in there. Imagine if that stick went right through there and poked his fucking eyeball out. Like, this is a dangerous fucking play. And I realized that he was being carted off by the refs and whatnot. And he's just doing this just to be this little bit of more of a douchebag that he is. But as he said, it's stupid. He has got to give his fucking head a shake, man. Like, if you injure a player after the fact, if it's in the game, even if you charge somebody or you give, you're boarding somebody and you hurt them, that is a whole lot different than after the whistle. And then you go and poke a guy's eye out. To me, that is inexcusable. During the game is one thing, but after the whistle, you need to cool your fucking jets, and you can't be doing shit like that. And
would you have given him more than Yosh?
It's tough. I think 6 is probably the right number. I would have liked to have seen him banned from fucking the NHL period, just because he's a fucking douche. Obviously, he's not going to get banned on this.
The biggest douche in hockey was Avery. That's just me.
Yeah, but Marchand he's creeping up there pretty fucking good, man. I mean, all Marchand needs to do is stand in front of a goalie and do this, and then he's right up on the same plane as Avery.
Yeah.
I mean, they are very, very close.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think 6 is probably right. I would have liked to see more just because I don't like Marchand. But what are you gonna do?
Every team needs a Marchand, though, in my mind. I mean, we had one when we had Kadri, and then we got rid of him. What's Kadri doing in Colorado?
Kadri's not the same.
But I'm just saying, everybody has that person to get underneath your skin.
Kadri would get suspended during gameplay. He would do something stupid during gameplay, not after the whistle, typically. Brad Marchand is typically, he does something during the game, and then the whistle blows, and then he keeps going. And
you know what he reminds me of then? When we played hockey, he was like the line.
Somebody that just doesn't stop, man. Somebody that just doesn't stop. I get you.
That's right.
I get you. I mean, has Marchand ever fought anybody on his own team on the bench?
Probably not.
Well, you never know.
Never know.
That was a line.
Yeah.
I know. I had to break the fuckers up to stop them from doing so. But yes.
So with this suspension, Marchand becomes the most suspended player of all time in terms of actual suspensions, not by games, because this is his longest suspension at 6 games. So
I'm surprised.
He's been suspended a bunch of times, all for relatively short durations. So he's been suspended 8 times now and fined 5 times prior to this. And so he has 21 goals and 28 assists in 39 games. He's leading the Bruins in terms of points, and he's out for 6 games. So he's obviously a prolific scorer in this league. He's a great player. It's too bad he's such a douche, as you put it, Josh. But what I hear all the time is that players like this, you hate them when you play against them, but you'd love to have them on your team. And I don't know if that's really true or not.
I would. I'd need one. I'd want one.
So you would want Brad Marchand on your team. You would.
I
love
would.
him if he was
I
on
would take
your
him in a heartbeat. I'd take him in a heartbeat.
You would
'Cause-
take
'cause he
one
get-
or two suspensions a year just to
The
have
guy
these-
gets underneath your skin. You hate to love him, like you said, Pedro. I mean, I think every team needs like a Marchand. I mean, he at one point was just getting suspended, and then they said, "Hey, you're talented." And I believe he went to a therapist and actually worked himself out a bit, and then
So
became
needs to go
fucking
back to that
talented.
therapist then.
Maybe, but I'm just saying he definitely reversed his game at one point and started getting points and goals. I mean, the guy's a definitely skilled player. I'd want him. I'd take him.
For me, if he could leave all the bullshit at the door, I would take him, but he can't.
He can't.
So he has now hurt his team for 6 games. He is the best player on their team point wise. Those 6 games gone is going to really hurt them from a scoring standpoint. And where are they in the standings right now? Are they comfortably in a playoff spot?
I think so. They're near the bottom of the playoff teams in the East, but it's pretty set. The 8 teams that are going to make the playoffs.
So if they lose these 6 games, it's probably not going to change too much.
They're fairly
It's their
comfortable.
seeding, which could be huge.
No,
The seeding could be, but
I don't like.
We also-
It's a bit of a weird year where they're sort of near the bottom of the playoff teams, but they're not going to fall out and they're not going to make it to the top.
and we know that Boston shows up in the playoffs every year. So to me, them finishing 7-8 isn't going to make a difference to me.
Yeah,
Because
like the playoff teams at the Atlantic, the top 3 are the Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Leafs. They are the top of the Atlantic, and they're going to stay there. And then Boston's the wild card team coming out of that division. That's pretty much. It's not set in stone because we're basically only halfway through the season, but it's more or less set in stone.
so if he could check his attitude at the door, which we know he can't, I would take him because of his skill. But knowing that he can't, and that he at some point is going to hurt the team with his suspensions and the penalties in that potential game or what have you, based on his asinine activities, that's why I wouldn't take him. I would much rather have just a straight up enforcer as opposed to this guy who, yes, he gets under your skin. Absolutely. He gets under my skin. I don't even fucking play against him. Like if I fucking met the guy, I would beat his ass or at least attempt to. Like, you know,
Do you guys know he got a tattoo when he won the Stanley Cup, and the guy actually misprinted the champions?
so what does it say?
I don't know what it said, but my assumption is
Champions.
chumps. I think champions. Yeah,
Chumps would be fucking funny.
but he did end up having a misspelling on champions on his tattoo.
That's fucking funny.
I think the person did it purposely and not, like, because it's Marchand.
Well, if you did champions as opposed to champions, it would be a pretty easy fix, right? Just circle the top of the U to make an A, but
Yeah.
that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
So you guys don't think that he's gonna change his ways because he knows that this is a base
He
level?
can, though. He has changed his ways. But
So,
it's
to be-
that fucking curve that, I got to be that dickhead to get underneath your skin and do stupid shit.
But he
That's-
knows that it was stupid, and it's
Yeah.
purely off of his history of being suspended that he's getting these 6 games. So my point is, you guys you have no iota that he's gonna change his ways.
He won't change.
So
It's hard.
To be fair, before his previous suspension already this year, he went a long stretch without getting suspended before that. So he did.
But
He
was
did.
like, oh fuck, I haven't been.
Yeah.
been missing games.
I need some time off.
I go to Vegas.
Well, I saw a hilarious thing that, like, how outrageous would it be if he shows up in Beijing and plays Canada?
For 6 games.
I mean, we need him.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's not gonna
okay,
happen.
there I would
Yeah.
take him.
Yeah.
Because we got the B team in the Olympics, I would take him. But
Yeah, we got the C team over there. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Like he can produce. He's a great player, but he's such just a fucking idiot. That's I don't know. It's hard.
So do you take him, Pete?
I
You want
probably
him on the
would.
Leafs?
I probably would take him, but I wouldn't love him like some people say. Like, you love the pest when he's on your team. I'd still think he's a fucking goof and an idiot.
I'm totally okay with having a pass on your team as long as he reels it in and doesn't get suspended, because now you're hurting your team. I'm okay with a penalty here and there during the game because, okay, you went a little bit overboard and you fuck with the guy a little bit more than you maybe should have. But when it comes to suspensions, especially being that good of a goal scorer and point producer, you've really fucked your team for those 6 games. And that's unacceptable.
As a coach, like, why don't you reduce his minutes then too? Like, I know he's, like you said,
Because he's
great,
so good.
He's so good, but once you realize like he's getting agitated at the stupidest shit, do you just be like, just take a seat? Cool your head.
Maybe by a game basis, you do say, okay, you know what, you're getting too hot.
Some of it on the coaching on this point, because like clearly he keeps doing it. Like I get, like he's a good player. He makes horrible mistakes, but you gotta reel in your players a little bit. Like that's just a good leader, and that's what you need as a coach. So I just think it's Boston too. So Boston has been like this for a while too.
It's pronounced Bastion.
Boston.
Bastard.
I think you gotta play some of it onto the coach. Like he's like, oh, we're not scoring. Marchand play more minutes, and then he does something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty much a ticking time bomb, right? Like you said, Pete, maybe he went for a good stretch without getting suspended, but eventually, he's going to get
Dumb-Dumb's going to do something stupid.
Yep. So at that, I think we're done talking about Mr. Marchand. And
Fuck Boston.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
Fuck Boston.
I
Fuck
wish we won as
Boston.
often as I did. But... Anyway, rolling into our penalty box. Josh, why don't you let us know who's in the box this week?
All right, so this week is a pretty funny penalty box, in my opinion. So, OKC player Ty Jerome, who's only been in the league for a couple years, clearly does not remember that the NBA only has a 24-second shot clock, as he had a 24-second shot clock violation on a possession in which no passes or no shot attempts were made. Ty Jerome had the ball for the entire 24 seconds and the shot clock expired. And all he was doing, dribbling, little spin, dribbling, no pass attempts. Guys are open as he's just dribbling away. Guys are open, can make shots. I realize that you play for OKC and there isn't a whole lot of talent on the team, but you got to pass the ball. You got to take shots. Nothing. No shot attempt after 24 seconds. What are you thinking? Like, how do you just let the time run out?
Especially when you're down in the game. Like
yeah, that was my question. Was the up or down? I mean, if they're up, I can see that. But if you're down, what the fuck?
But you still make a shot at the end of the fucking shot clock, even if you're down, right? You're like, oh, I just don't want to give the ball up for free.
Right.
You throw a shot up and it hits the rim, it's a horrible shot. You still have a potential for a rebound. But to not throw the ball up at all, like, you know what?
He drove the lane too, so he had a chance to just
peel back. He did.
He just passed it.
Yeah,
and then like right before he passed it, like the shot clock went off, and the guy standing there at the 3-point line was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
like, you missed me by a couple."
4 seconds, 5 seconds. I mean, you passed me twice.
Yeah. So, like you said,
he's just not good with his left hand.
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, Pete, like OKC was down, but they were down 15 points. So, and it was winding, the clock was winding down. It wasn't super low or anything, but like, this is the time when you're down 15 points. You kind of want to rush. You want to get buckets quick. You got to push
the pace.
Yeah. And he's just chilling out. Oh, yeah, I'm at the 3-point line. Bounce. Bounce, like just nothing.
Was he a foot behind the 3-point line, or was he on the 3-point line?
He was near half court.
Oh, was he?
For most of it.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't making a shot, right? He was clearly he was just bouncing the ball.
Yeah, he took him a while to get up court.
Yeah, it did.
But he did have a chance to take a shot, and he decided to pass.
Yeah, he had shot options. Like I said, Jesse, he drove and he could have kept going to the bucket. and go with a layup attempt. He could have dished it off at that point because there probably was 2 guys coming to him as he's driving a lane.
Well, they were just sitting there. Everyone knew.
Exactly.
This guy's not coming anywhere.
It made no fucking sense here. No sense. So Ty Jerome, you got to remember you're not in college anymore. It's been a couple years since you've been in college, but it's only a 24-second shot clock.
You goof.
Dumb,
You
dumb.
fucking goof. I got a bunch of this guy's rookie cards too. Now they're worth.
Oh, you
fuck
gotta
all.
get rid of them.
They're not even worth the fucking cardboard they're printed on now. Oh fuck. You know who was going to be a co penalty box here was Kevin Porter Jr. He scored on his own net with about 2 seconds to go against the Raptors, which we thought was pretty funny. And it turns out that they didn't count the bucket, which makes no sense at all when there's time
Should've counted.
left. Should have counted. The Raps should have
Should've.
won. They won by 19. They should have won by 21 in that game. Just odd odds. It was going to be a duel.
$140 mark.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I mean, a basket goes through the.
Hey, man,
The ball
if-
goes. The ball
Do
goes
a
through
basket
the
for
hoop.
sure. If there's
They're in
still
the corner.
time, what the
Should've
fuck?
counted.
How does it not count?
Should have counted. Yeah.
My point
Damn
is,
right.
who gets the basket at that point?
Toronto.
No,
The
I'm
closest
talking
player.
about
What
the
person? Yeah.
The
Oh.
closest player.
Probably whoever touched it last, right? It'd
Or
be kind of
whoever
like
touched it last, yeah.
it would be
17
like
shots.
hockey or
Put it in his own
soccer.
goal
Where,
or something like that.
No,
yeah, well,
Soccer's
yeah,
own goal.
soccer is the own goal. Yeah.
Yeah, hockey's the one where it's the last person. that
Yeah.
which probably would be, but it would still be pretty funny.
In high school, we had a guy score in our own basket. He grabbed the rebound and he figured he was on the other end and
He just goes
fucking
up
put
for
it
a
right back up.
putback.
Fucking right he did. It's like, you dickhead.
That's what's the guy's name with Dallas? Leon Lett did that too with the Cowboys.
Oh yeah. He picked up a ball and ran the wrong way.
Ran the wrong way. And he did that twice in a row or some shit.
Yeah, too much. Fucking goofs.
Dum
They
dums.
drinking before the game, like
No, they're not the Mexican umpires, bud. They're not Mexican umpires.
oh, I'm sure at back in the NFL they would be drinking on halftime. They have a couple brewskis.
Oh, I saw a fucking meme today, and it was like, shout out to Len Dawson in Super Bowl I. I'm pretty sure it was Len Dawson that they said. And or he's smoking a cigarette and he's got a beer between his legs sitting around at halftime. And it's like, shout out to this guy. This is what they used to do. Like, makes sense. I'd probably have a beer. I mean, fuck, if we got to, when you're playing hockey, rec hockey, if you got to go back into the room between periods, for sure I'd crush a
Shotgun.
beer.
Shotgun.
For sure.
Oh,
Boom.
buddy, I've seen all kinds of beers, just like where you keep your Gatorade bottle for during the game.
Yeah.
I've seen all kinds of beers in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, lots of guys. So you don't get in shit. I've seen beers poured into your Gatorade bottles and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Rec wise, I've seen in. I mean, obviously it's rec sports, but in softball, we call them B1 because we got 2 Bobs on our team. But B1 took a fucking beer out into left field, and he had it in his he had it in his glove.
His glove.
He didn't get any balls out there the whole game. And so he takes this fucking beer. He's like, fuck this. I'm drinking out in the fucking outfield because I'm not getting any balls out to me. Sure
Why
enough,
not?
doesn't a fucking ball come out to him. And I'm pretty sure he was able to put his beer down and make the play. This was years
Atta
ago.
boy.
But, oh, yeah.
Atta
That's
boy.
all that matters.
But interesting. It'd be interesting to see if guys actually, have a few drinks. They probably don't nowadays.
They
during-
definitely don't anymore.
but they probably should though sometimes. You know what? Maybe Marshawn does. Maybe he gets a little loopy and then he gets a little fucking ornery. And that's where he wants to get in front of everybody. So
Maybe a fucking rail of cocaine or something, but I don't think he's drinking.
Hey, he's no Grand Fuhrer, okay? He's no Grand Fuhrer.
Hey, how do you know?
all right, guys.
You seen the schnoz on him?
Yeah. But he put it in
Are you
his
talking
water
about
bottle.
Jesse?
Huh. Grand Fuhrer put it in his water bottle. He was constant.
You
Just
put
saying.
cocaine in his water bottle.
Yes, sir.
There you
Mixed
go.
with water.
Yes, sir. Tell him, Winston.
No, that's not Winston.
Oh, tell him.
That's a random other dog.
Random mother dog.
That is Hunter.
Oh, it's not Fossa?
No,
Oh.
it's way too deep to be Fossa, man.
Right. Granted.
All right. Well, shout
Let's
out
get
to
in.
Hunter giving us his 2 cents.
Yeah.
You know what he's doing? He's barking at all of us. He's saying, "You guys are fucking idiots. You didn't get any
You
fucking
didn't get a
challenges."
challenge.
What the fuck?
I mean, like there were a couple that we could have.
We coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried, and Kevin is like, "Whoa, wait." I tried,
Well, we can just give a -1 to Kevin.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, I got the bitch beer, right?
and the bitch beer. That's -2 then.
Whoa.
All right, Pete. This is gonna be an easy one, man. Go through the scores,
We are all -1 because we also
Ooh.
suck at our jobs.
or we're really good at it. We actually did some research this week.
Oh, I like that take.
Nope, not the case.
It's not the case, but I like the take.
But I still say this kind of thing should take that minus.
Yeah,
I mean,
And
it might save us from all getting a minus, so maybe we should. Let's, you
Yeah.
know what? Let's get a fucking listener/viewer vote. If y'all
Yes.
are listening, I hope you're listening and or watching. Shout us out, shoot us a DM, a comment, whatever. Let us know if we should add a -1 for whoever's got the bitch beer. And you know, if we get at least one response, then we'll
that's
do
what it is.
We're just looking for one response, people. Anybody
Yeah,
comment.
we're talking to you.
One person,
You.
whoever it is.
We're talking to you.
If you're listening, Pete's really pointing at the screen here. he's angrily pointing at you. All right, so -1 today. What does that bring our season to?
That brings our season totals. Peter is at a +2.
You.
Kev drops to -5.
Boo.
Jesse's down to +3.
I
You.
mean, you might as
And
well put me at
Josh.
+4 after today.
Oh,
Fuck
just
off.
calm down.
Just relax.
Let's all. You're gonna have a really rough day when the Bungles fucking beat you.
Yeah.
And like I've had so much confidence this season, and then I got scared after the Brady comeback. Stupid Brady juju. Like
Fuck you, Brady.
Listen, I didn't believe in the Bengals either, but then they beat the best team in the AFC,
Oh fuck.
the Titans.
You must be talking about the Chiefs.
Second
But does
best
that
team in
just
the
say how
AFC.
bad the
The
Titans
Chiefs.
are that they get 9
Nah.
sacks and they
Nah.
can't win?
That's how good the Bungles are. That's why they're gonna win today.
Where was the coach of the year there getting 9 sacks and can't get over 20 points?
Well, that happens when you have 3 interceptions.
Why
So
you letting that guy throw the
Aaron
ball?
Rodgers, who threw 4 interceptions all year, invitations waiting.
I mean, he did buy some property in and around Tennessee,
I
Yeah,
heard
he
about
did.
that.
Yeah,
which
he
is
did.
crazy. Like,
I also heard that he buys property everywhere.
I mean,
happening,
why
boys.
wouldn't you?
It's
If real estate's a
happening.
hot market right now, if you can
Yeah.
afford it, it's just going up. So, you know, and just wait
Okay,
until
but-
the interest rates jump up and we can get a bunch of houses for cheap, boys.
Cheap.
Gotta have
Put your
money to do
bias.
it, but
Put your bias aside here for a second, though. If Aaron Rodgers comes and joins the Titans, are they not a Super Bowl favorite?
Well, they're
Eh.
Super Bowl favorite for sure, but at the
Meh.
same time, he can't do anything in the playoffs apparently.
yeah, and I would suggest for him, stay the fuck out of the AFC. There is some top end QBs, young guys.
Well,
You
I
know,
think
you got
Brady got out of
Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Burrow,
Burrow, yeah.
you know,
Herbert.
Herbert.
Herbert, Jackson. Stay the fuck out of the AFC is what I would do if I was Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
That's probably why he's going to stay with Green Bay.
Yeah, I heard that. I think I read an article yesterday that said it's looking more like, although the early indication was that he's going to move out, it kind of seems like now he might stick around for another year. But
I hope he doesn't, just because 2 reasons. 1, because fuck Green Bay, and 2,
yeah,
because it's just more fun if he goes somewhere else.
Yeah, it would. It would.
I would
I think
definitely
so.
like to see the NFC North get a little bit fucking worse if he were to leave. It would be a little bit more
NFC
wide
North.
open. What did I say NFC North?
Didn't you say AFC? I heard AFC.
I heard AFC.
Oh.
Why the fuck you not challenging? Jesus Christ.
Okay.
He did challenge.
All right. Take the point. That's fine.
It's not.
Take the
No.
point.
We've gone through the scores. It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
Oh, fuck. I was saving all y'all points, but
It's all good.
I was gonna say, let's take the point and we'll double check when we edit. If I said NFC, then you be fucked. But whatever, it is what it is.
I heard AFC.
Okay, that's fair. Either way, get him out of my fucking division would be great.
Well, that'd be the cool thing because, like I said, the Rams are gonna win. So you got Brady moving to a different team,
Easy
winning a
there,
Super
Tiger.
Bowl.
Easy.
You got
Yeah, relax. Take a
Stafford
breath.
moving from another team, getting a Super Bowl. But if you follow this logic here and he comes to Tennessee, would you not like this logic?
Yeah, buddy.
So you're a Rams.
Listen, if the stupid Rams have to win a Super Bowl again, I remember Kevin Dyson. People don't forget.
I don't know who the hell Kevin Dyson was. I remember Mike Jones.
I remember Kevin Dyson. If that's what it takes to get the Lombardi back in shitty old Nashville, which I became
never
a fan
been
of
there,
for
bud.
some reason.
It's
Yes,
never been-
you're right. You're right.
Should have challenged him. Fuck.
It's after hours, bud.
Definitely after hours.
It's worth it. It's worth it, even if I got to see Jesse fucking win a championship.
Don't worry,
Okay.
Jesse's gonna.
You're not going to see him,
As
dude.
much as I
How are you
think
going to
it's
see that?
insufferable this year.
Jesse's
Just-
crying
just
today.
Pretend that it's going
No.
to be like for the rest of the season, boys.
Hey, my favorite thing. So every year I host a Super Bowl party, and my favorite thing is to watch you bitches cry when your teams lose.
We're
Fuck
talking to
you.
Kev.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, fuck you.
And just so you know, when the Bears did make that playoff or that Super Bowl a long time ago, I didn't cry when they lost. Okay, I was close, but I didn't cry. Kev,
Did Rusty cry in the Green Bay loss?
he might have.
He's always a bitch. He would always definitely
I
cry.
think he was too drunk and he just like fucking.
Just like me. Just like I was. No, I was too
Green Bay
drunk
hasn't
and
been to a Super Bowl since they won it.
I feel like I remember them being at a Super Bowl at Kevin's place. For a
So he
party.
was, yeah, that was the one that, or I don't know, they won one, and that was one he was way too drunk at because they won.
Oh, they won that one. Okay.
Yeah, there
They
was
never-
another one at my place in Waterloo that they lost.
yeah, when I broke my rib.
I don't think they've been to another Super Bowl.
Yeah, because I remember one guy fucking. It wasn't Rusty, but there was another dude that
Alright,
was super
well,
jacked.
like
and
I said, this
he's
is
like,
after hours. I'm
I
gonna check.
picked
I'm
fucking.
Pretty sure.
Green Bay.
He picked Green
Green
Bay.
Bay
And he was all
hasn't been
pissy. Anyway, guys, Jesse's gonna look some shit up for some unknown reason, but yeah,
I want to just show that I'm right at this again.
We're outside the window.
whatever.
We're outside the
Outside,
window.
we're outside.
We are way outside our window.
all right, Kev, tell me how your drink was.
Well, I'm just getting primed for this
Fuck
Super
yeah,
Bowl.
Super Bowl Sunday.
I have an Amsterdam Brewing Neon Haze at a 5.7 hazy IPA.
Bitch.
I'm a bit fucking hazy. I like the can. The can was pretty decent. I mean, I did a little of the
Doesn't
Mary
have a
Jane.
puffin on it.
No, puffin. What? I did that on a half break, bro.
Doesn't have two fucking owls on it, bro.
Woo!
Who's on it?
I don't know who's on first,
Hoot. I'm having a
Who?
hoot. I'm having a hoot.
but I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, these IPAs are kind of, you know, I
They're
might
good
actually
on Sundays, right, Kev?
I might start drinking this beyond
No,
Sundays.
Let's be real.
You
But,
will
yeah.
not.
No, I will not. I liked it. It was decent. Enjoyed this. I mean, I'm okay with taking the biatch of the alcohol content, but other than that, enjoyed it. Like it. I will definitely drink that again. Sneezy. How was yours, bro?
Stout was awesome. Blackfriars Bridge. It's about a bridge in London, Ontario. The stout was very good. 6%. I'm starting to get on board with these stouts, boys. And FYI, I was right. The last time they were in the Super Bowl, they won it, 2010.
Good for you, bro.
They haven't been there back.
Was it before that though? I feel like they lost.
The last time before that was with Mike Hallgrim in '96.
Were they playing that when they lost? Who did they play?
Patriots.
Fuck you, Brady.
96. What?
No.
Just saying Brady in
Impossible.
general.
Brady. 06 maybe.
I'm just saying Brady in general. I don't give a hoot.
Yeah,
Who?
fuck that guy. Should have been MVP though. That was my choice.
RPD, how was your beer?
Yeah, my Aloha Sour IPA with a puffin on the can.
I did that on break.
Not with a can though.
Oh no.
No,
It's
you
puffing.
were.
What are you in
puffing
high
something
school?
else. Yeah, you just poke some holes right here.
Yeah, man.
What?
You can turn
How do
anything
you know
into
how
a
to do
pipe.
that? What?
Take notes, kids. You got some tinfoil.
Oh, good thing I put not for kids on the YouTube channel.
Doesn't matter what we're talking about. You can also use a water bottle if you really have to.
Yeah, you can. Just get some tinfoil and the water bottle will melt.
But the puffin, what's it called? Aloha, the Aloha Sour IPA was good. I actually drank them way too quick. I drank one in Josh's first segment.
Sorry, boys.
Was parched all through Kevin's. Then crack number 2 at the MVP, and I don't think it made it to my segment either. So they went down quick. They went down fast.
Must be good then. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. I enjoyed it. I drink it again. Like I said, if you ever summertime on a patio, get yourself a nice sour IPA.
And we start puffing.
Can't get much better. Then yeah, Kev can start puffing. So Josh, how was your? I forget what you had. What'd you have?
My top end winning beer this week, 6.4%.
Just calm down.
Monogamy
Relax.
IPA with 2 fucking owls on the fucking front. They hoot, hoot, hoot. It was pretty fucking good. Citrusy, tasty AF. I like it. Gonna get these again. You know, I say I'm gonna get a bunch of them again. I never end up doing just because I'm like, oh hey, look, there's a new one. Oh look, there's a new one.
But
maybe
one day,
maybe
one
one day.
day, you'll come into the beer store or the LCs, wherever you're going, and you'll say, I've tried all these.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the ones that I said I would get again.
Yeah.
And I forget what they are. So I'm just gonna guess.
I'll guess at the high alcohol content ones.
No, I got you all beat in the next one. I
No, just
guarantee you
calm
that.
down, Kev. No, I'm drinking straight fucking rye next week, bro.
All right.
All right.
Drinking
I'll beat you
Bacardi
then.
151.
Oh,
All right.
shit.
Oh,
Oh shit. Fuck. I probably won't even make it to the end of the fucking episode. We know Jesse won't make it to the episode. And the episode he had some 151.
I will. I mean, I'll hang in there.
I don't know, Kev. You're getting up there in age, you know. I might put you out.
Nah,
No?
puke and rally, bro.
The old body's
Rally.
not what she used to be, Kev.
Nah.
All right, guys. Today is Super Bowl fucking Sunday. Super excited. We had to do our show early in the morning. We're drinking at 10 a.m. because that's how we do for all you listeners. We've got to make sure that we're nice and drunk for you guys, even
do
if
it
it
for
is
you.
early.
For you.
We do it for you. So for everybody here at Points and Penalties on Super Bowl Sunday, I'd like to thank you for listening. Please subscribe on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Click this motherfucking button right here. Wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you subscribe there. Please give us a like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Points Penalties. And until next week, boys.
Stay out of the penalty box.